Good evening, and everyone. Welcome to week 3 of Prospect eSports Showdown. Today, we are looking forward to having hopefully a very intense game bit from Delta versus Frostburn. Both Delta and Frostburn are currently 3-0, so they are both looking at facing their first win today, their first loss today. Sorry. Who will remain undefeated after this game? Well, stay tuned to find out. We'll be starting on Busan today. Delta, being the lower seed, has selected Busan. And sadly, today you just have me casting you today. So hopefully, you guys don't get too sick of my voice. Yeah, so Busan. So we'll have to see what the two teams are running. Probably looking at getting, some rush on mecha base, bit of dive or rush maybe on not control center on downtown, which will leave us just probably with either one of those two uh, comps for the remainder um, sanctuary. So we're hoping that this game will get underway very shortly. Uh, Today we have on Delta, we have Waffle, Shinku, Kaiser, Xvino, Strawberry, and Newer Muse. And representing Frostburn today, we have Monkey Happy, Rook, Heroes, Crispier Bread, Crispier Bird, Kel, and Lewis. This being intermediate division, we're kind of looking at that plat to diamond play level of games. So we'll have to see if that deeply affects the compositions. Often compositions that work very, very high, well in the higher elos, not quite as viable in the lower elos, especially when you have a lot of mechanical skill check. So it looks like we are just about to get this game going. And we'll be right with you as soon as that starts. Yes. Yes, so I think we'll run some music now while we just wait for both teams to ready up. Oh my gosh. I am not going to enjoy this one little bit. Oh boy. We're now ready to go. Starting Busan on our lobby holders call.
Now traveling to Busan.
So our first map today is going to be Mecha Base, where we are going to look at running some pretty interesting looking comps. I assume people are just memeing their spawns, because I don't like the sound of having Rook here on the ball while also running Crispier on that Bastion. But then again, You never know. Apparently, we're just waiting for players. Heroes doesn't look like he's been able to get in the action here, so he might be having some startup problems. So the teams are just going to have a little bit of fun, just scrimming,
Initiating
basically doing a little bit
match.
of fluffing around. But here we go. Heroes is in now, so we should see some selection of heroes. Game starting in 15 seconds. So they're assembling their heroes, but none have selected as yet, leaving me with not a great deal to talk about. But like I said, I would expect us to be running some brawly comps here,
Ready for
and
battle.
that is indeed what we're playing. Biggest difference here, of course, is that on the side of Delta, they've chosen to run the meta pick of May, but on the side of Frostburn, they've chosen to run Doom. I'll be very interested to see how that actually pans out for Frostburn. If they can get the first pick onto the opposition, then they could get the ball rolling. But I think that the main role here is really going to come in handy. It's going to lock down both the Doom and just move on the opposition. Waffle gets picked out first by heroes on the Doom pit. And so we should see Frostburn pushing really, really hard. We do have another pick on Strawberry. That's 2 picks on the side of Frostburn to Delta. They should cap this point nice and easy. The walls coming out of Xvino, not quite as good as we would hope, but that is how it goes. They really need to control this high ground here where the choke is. We see Monkey is, just smacking into him. Big shatter coming out of Monkey onto all the team. Kaiser's low, Shinku's low, Waffle's low, and they're all getting picked very, very quickly, swiftly, and easy by heroes. Looking at the ult charges, we do have Crispy of Bread and Lewis on the side of Frostburn, getting ready with their ultimates. Hopefully a big window to come out of them as Waffle and crew come up on the rest of them. But they've chosen to go underneath to try and limit that. But perhaps we'll see Lewis come out here with his window. Creole coming out from Crispier. All the ults coming out. Monkey gets a massive, massive, massive fire strike on the team. And it's going to be another very determined fight win by Delta here. By Frostburn. Things aren't looking too good here for Delta. We don't have much in the way of ults really to help them. In terms of support ults, they have nothing. We know Rook's coming up on his ult here. Xvino goes in with his May ult. Does value, gets a lot of value. They should win this. They should be staying close together. Xvino pushing up. Rook is up behind them and getting a very good pick on Kaiser, which means that Waffle has to use his ult. Beat comes out by Kel, and we still have Shatter coming out by Monkey here, and he's working it. Waffle gets a few picks, both on Monkey. And now we have Lewis, has used his immortality. Hero's going in, and we have Cree on the high ground, using his noon to save the day. Finally, we see that Delta has taken the point. So, it's still looking very dominant for Frostburn. Frostburn has ultimates online, Noon and Grab. Not a combo. They've lost Doom really early, which is such a shame because they could have comboed Doom with Shinku here. But that's what happens. Heroes will come back now. We do get a stagger onto Lucio, so they'll have to do a full reset, giving Delta that very, very handy, advantage with more time on the point as that will go up. Frostburn has pushed in. Mayol comes out. Heroes goes down. Kaiser just clicking 1, 2, 1, 2. You're dead. You're dead. Again. This is starting to look better and better for Delta. I really, you know, the momentum was at first with Frostburn, but seeing that, you know, the Doom is finding it very difficult on these retakes. I don't think Heroes on the Doom here is actually going to be able to get those picks that he needs to. The Mei composition is just so much better on that defense as well. So I think we might actually see nothing too good coming out of this Doom play. Kaiser has his ult. Kind of expecting him to use it soon. Doesn't try to take advantage of it for the quick refill, giving Frostburn the opportunity to push in further. We do see Delta is down a couple of picks. Frostburn is establishing a bit of dominance there, and they do take it, but it wasn't quite as smooth as we thought it would be when it first came out. Alrighty. So we should see Frostburn just finish this off. So we do have the ball stall come out. I don't think it's going to be enough. Shinku does get a pick on Monkey Happy though. Mei is back on point, which means there's always a chance. We do have not a lot of target focus coming on here, but Crispy Bird gets a nice couple of picks. You also have a big Mei ult coming out from Xvino. Is it going to be enough? It might just be. It's Moira versus Ryan. Moira's right click comes out. Moira and Ryan versus Ryan. Oh, Moira's down. We now have Kaiser just representing his team with the ball. Ball versus Ryan. Quite chaotic. There's a big long stall coming out. You know, Monkey Happy does get another shatter off. Look, it's really still looking here like it is going to be Frostburn. Heroes comes in and gets those 3 last picks, securing the position for Frostburn up against Delta. Quite eventful. Quite eventful indeed is the call from Gem in the spectators. Again, we shall see some roll going on from the look of it. We do see Waffle switching to that monkey, indicating a bit of a rush comp. They are running the Echo, so we'll get a bit of that sort of airplay, and Crispy, a bird, is going to really have his life cut out for him because he's going to have to focus. Although perhaps not. They're changing quicker than I can keep up. You know, so let's see, we do have Waffle is coming out on that Reinhardt, and we see a mirror comp. So Heroes has decided to swap the main now. He may have found himself in a little bit of strife on the Doom in that first match. So we'll probably see Heroes here trying to just get better walls. Heroes does get the better wall onto Waffle, separating him from the rest of his team. Immortality did come out to save his life, and so it hasn't really amounted to much yet. But of course, we are down Immortalities. Big wall from Kaiser on Waffle. On Monkey Happy. And we should see here though that Delta is going to take it. So that was very interesting. You know, Monkey and Rook kind of got like walled off there, but they were able to, you know, live a little bit longer. Which is very strange. You would expect like it to be much quicker, but that's how it goes. Big shatter coming out from Waffle. Waffle and Kaiser just tidying things up, making this like fight go longer and just making their respawn that bit harder. Falling back now, Delta has taken up position in the first choke point. We do have Shinku here, 80% on his ultimate, so we should see a nice Zoya ult come out. Rook is going to be looking to eat that, but Rook is like so low. I think his DM will be extinguished by the time, you know, Fat ult comes out, big pick by Waffle, and we see another fight win here from Delta. Delta doesn't even need to use his grab, although he has it so quick. Looking over it, we kind of, you know, we're seeing that the first one to get their ults at the moment is Frostburn, but they're not really being able to do much yet with it. Kel used his beat and it didn't really get him like too far, you know. So we do have Heroes here with his May ult coming in, and Crispy are using his pre-ult to create that bit of space. But we have Delta here playing very, very safe. Kaiser comes out with his own High Noon here, and I just don't think they're going to be able to really get much presence on the point there from Frostburn. They're definitely being outplayed here by Delta. Shinku, you know, is on to, like, he still hasn't used his ult, you know, he hasn't had to. So that's a very, very easy 99-0 on Sanctuary here, which is a bit interesting. You know, we're going to see Frostburn just sort of stagger on point here, very slowly. But there you have it. We have a 100-0 on Sanctuary. Which will leave us to Downtown. It's sort of panning out, but it looks like, you know, Delta's going to come away with this first map win. Certainly, you know, Crispy Bird is sort of popping off a bit. 1 click, 2 click, 3 click, dead. You know, so this time it looks like we're going to be running a more divey style comp coming out of Frostburn. Lewis has taken the Ana. Waffle on Delta seems to be doing quite a good job with his shatters. And Kaiser was also exhibiting quite well. So we should see, I'm not really sure how you're going to play the Mei on this. It's really difficult to sort of set up a choke point when you're playing this sort of divey style that Monkey, Happy and crew are playing. But they managed to stagger the Monkey by walling him off. You know, Monkey Happy really needs to be looking out for that, because it's just going to, you know, if he uses his jump to dive in, he then doesn't have it for his escape. So we really want to see him be saving his jumps for escapes and for taking high ground rather than engage. Otherwise he's just going to get, you know, burnt down to the bone. We do have Waffle coming up on his first ult. Strawberry gets picked early, as does Waffle. So this should be a nice take again by Frostburn. I would have thought Delta would have been able to do a little bit more there, but they just got picked so early. They just lost those first 2 picks so early that they're just not able to. Crispy Bird seems to be wanting to dominate on the Widow. We do have Kaiser also on the Widow to contest him, but Crispy has reached his ultimate first. So let's see how he goes. He's now got his sights up. And we'll have Crispy here just peeking, looking for the other Widow, hoping to take him. Kaiser gets taken out by Monkey Happy, which is just going to give Crispy Bird all that space to just do whatever he wants, because he's got no contest. Sure, you've got a D.Va, but what's D.Va going to be able to do at this point? 1 grapple and D.Va's useless against Crispy here. So Crispy just is able to pop off nicely and just lock down the other team. Heroes has his ult. We should see him choose a hero to convert to. In my mind, probably looking at, you know, Winston or Mei perhaps as his swap options. Mei would certainly slow down that team a lot. But really either will really work. I mean, at this stage you can probably pick anyone. We do have Nano Winston onto, like, for Monkey Happy. He's popped his Primal, he's Nano. Yes, the Mei ult comes out, but it's probably not going to be enough here. Kaiser does get a pick on Rook, but Shinku comes in with another bomb. So it just looks like the ult advantage that Delta had is just going to pay out here. Delta is going to just try and play it a little softer. They can play it a little slower. They can afford to play slow. Shinku, D-Mech, of course, and we have Monkey here who is going to push in on Mercy and just take out their supports. So we do have Lewis still alive now on Delta, but I don't think they're going to um, be able to regroup. They've taken the point, but I think Frostburn here um, is still looking quite strong. They're about to have Valkyrie, and if they push him very quickly with that and just push hard and just keep on pushing hard, they'll probably win out here. We do have ultimates about to come out on Delta, so Frostman want to take this point easily from Delta. They need to do it soon because we do have another May ult coming out. Now that is 2 fights and 2 May ults. So Xvino is really doing some work here on his team for his team. He's able to sort of split Frostburn apart a bit here. Rook is very, very low. Mercy goes to rescue him. And Shinku is babied. He's 60% to getting his mech back. Don't know if it's going to be enough. Rook gets a nice little pick. Diva can't do anything about it. The Winston swap from Heroes on the Echo. It's quite large. He's not taking any damage. He's just racking up that ult charge, and he's going to be able to keep them off point when he pops Primal here. So we are going to see a win by Frostburn here on against Delta. So the first map win of the day goes to Frostburn on Busan. We'll just play some music for you lots so you guys don't get sick of my voice and so I can take a small break before our next map.
Double, triple, quadruple kill.
Alrighty, we're back with our next map. Choices, as you can see, are up on screen. Map pool is going to be between the choices are between Volskaya and Hanamura. And having lost the first map, Delta is able to choose, and it looks like they've chosen Volskaya today. So with the 2CP uh, maps, we should see a lot of sort of
Traveling to
much more
Volskaya
defensive style
Industries.
play, especially on defense. You don't want to give away any advantage because you end up having that very, very massive long spawn. Um, 2CP is very unfortunate in that way. If you lose sort of one fight on defense at the beginning, um, on defense, um, if you lose it at the beginning on defense, it just, you end up having the attackers will end up having some like 5 or 6 minutes onto their timer at the end, and that's a long time to be able to, organize a push and win really, like, and just get that point win on second point.
Initiating
So
launch.
we should see here a little bit more of that brawl. Um, yeah, we should see a little bit more of that brawl going on. We'll see May probably come out, particularly on defense. But on attack, you end up having quite a lot of ability to run something different. You can run anything like from a sim to a Pharah to dive. There are so many choices here on Volskaya that you can
Ready for
run
battle.
to just get that advantage and just get those first one or two picks. You can run a Widow and just get an easy single pick, on first and just take that attack very because you know how long
To my
those
last breath.
teams are going to have to come back from their spawn.
Aiming for the
So we do see Brawl coming out here. We see Crispy Bird coming out on the Ash. So we have an Ash v Ash going on. We should see Crispy Bird having an easier time of that, seeming as he should have the Mercy Pocket from Kel. But what they'll be
Five,
lacking is
four,
speed.
three,
Speed probably not
two,
quite as important on
one.
defense, except you're
Attackers
also going to be
incoming.
losing that defensive
Defend
ultimate.
objective A.
Running BAP, you are going to have that immortality. It kind of works as a little bit of a defense ultimate, but you've still got more, I guess, defense ultimate with a Lucio comp. We do see uh, for a Delta here going up along the outside, which is kind of strange for a rush comp because they really want to play up close and personal, and they are actually just giving Crispy Bird all this like long thing. They're sort of rotating around a Crispier, but he can just go and swap high ground. So not really sure what's going on here. Shinko has already taken a lot of damage. They've already had to use quite a lot of their cooldowns. Immortalities are already down. Oh, we do see May get a pick on Kel, which is really, really big. Kaiser picks on Monkey Happy here, and Delta's actually going to take this first point. Now, really, I really don't think that should have happened. It's quite a misplay by, I think, really Rook and Monkey Happy there. They didn't really set themselves up to actually be able to take advantage of that space, because really what they wanted was to allow Crispier and Heroes to be able to just like pop off from a distance. May right clicks are almost as, powerful and useful as, say, like a Kree right click. So that's very, very strange here. Surprised, but that's how it goes. We do have Window come out by Strawberry, and May's just looking around to make a bit of pain for everybody. See the May 1v1. If she's able to get her own wall up but not able to do anything else, we do have May ult here, so we should see that drop any minute now. So there's a nice easy pick, but I think he just waits that little bit too long. I think it's probably not going to matter in the long run here, but Heroes and team do get a big grab, but they weren't able to really focus on that. I think we're seeing a little bit of a problem here with target focus. Frostburn doesn't really seem to know where they want to go. or who they want to attack first. So really they need to work out who like their priority targets are, while still also paying attention to the fact that they have a point to defend.
Initiating match.
So that was a little bit disappointing, I would say. I think, Delta would be feeling pretty good about themselves considering they just lost that first map. So come out this strong, finishing with a 4-minute 50 timer up against Frostburn. That's just huge. You can be on a 2CP map and not even take first point, let alone second point. So you often are seeing that second point taken in overtime.
Ready for
Um,
battle.
and 4 minutes 50 is almost, at this point, it's almost a free win, unless you're going to be having like, you know, just another terrible defense on first point by Frostburn. By Delta. I just don't really see how Frostburn's going to be able to go in with enough momentum to take the point. We do see Kel now on the Lucio, so they're running that sort of similar comp to what Delta ran initially, except of course they have Crispier Bird on the Kree instead of the Ash. Now the Ash is good in the sense of it gives you that little bit of extra range, and you can also burn out cooldowns really quickly with that dynamite. So hopefully this is what Delta's going to be trying to do. Hopefully he plays a little bit better. Waffle is playing the Winston, which is probably better considering that they are playing the Ash and the Ana, so they are actually able to play this this sort of poke style. Waffle has, a advantage in the sense that he can escape where Ryan cannot. So they're holding them very comfortably in this first little section here, and we see a very definitive first fight win coming out of Delta. So we do see not much is really happening yet. That was such a quick fight. No one was really able to build their ults. Sometimes it's worth allowing like your DPS or something to farm a little bit of damage up on people if you know you're going to win the fight anyway. Because Hero's here, Delta's only on, very low ultimate charge. Waffle was getting close, but he does get picked first. We do see Immortality come out. Kaiser's just sort of tracking around and really not doing all that much. He wasn't able to contest or put on hardly any pressure. He was just kind of peppering. Delta gets a good dynamite on, but it's really not going to do anything unless you're going to start clicking those heads. This point is going to be lost by Delta here. Oh, massive dynamite coming out from Mr. Barcode over here. And it actually does result in a fight win. So we do actually see Delta here are able to hold it with 2.5 points to go. Waffle did come back mid-fight, and I don't think Frostburn was expecting it. They don't seem to be quite as full-on with their sort of tracking of like awareness in terms of what the other team is doing. They seem to have a clue of what they're doing, but maybe not so much what the other team is doing. So Frostburn here comes in with window. A nice big immortality from Lewis here to help. From Lewis here to help sort of save the day and push it forward. So they are able to get that. Of course, coming into this, they're already, they haven't even gone through the first point, and they're already below Delta's lead here. So they're going to want to try and take this very quickly because they want to have as much in their way as possible. High Noon comes out from Crispier, doesn't really get anyone, but a nice anti from UMU takes out the enemy Baptiste. Heroes goes down, Monkey goes down, everybody goes down, and Frostburn will have to reset and go again. Frostburn is coming into this fight with quite a lot of good ultimates. They are running May and Ryan and Lucio for their ultimates, and Delta has been burned out of all their ultimates. They have no real defense for it. If the May ult comes out, as long as they focus Strawberry's immortality, they should be able to get some really nice picks with this May ult. They don't really get too much, but they are going to take out Baptiste, which is a big pick. A big stun onto Heroes, but he is able to go into icicle mode. Crispier is just like pressing W because he's got, all that overshield from Lucio. Playing up a bit far, but Rook here now just going to try and just finish them off. Mortelli comes out again, does absolutely nothing. It's pretty useless. Lewis has yet another window here, which the rest of his team can't use, but he certainly can to get quite an advantage on DPS himself. We do see Crispy here is going to just start picking off the DPS one by one, leaving only tanks on point. And that's a nice comfortable take by Frostburn. But while they took that very comfortably, very easily, that fight one was very clearly won by them. It's not so good for the attack, because Frostburn only has 2 minutes now, and Delta has 3 minutes 50. So Delta being able to hold that bit longer on first point has really just given themselves a lot of an advantage here. So you really don't want to have like any chance of, a steamroll, because the advantage that the team that has a steamroll has is just so much higher, and we'll probably see it play out. Delta's going to be comfortable taking things one step at a time here. They're not going to be as worried. They're going to be able to coordinate their ults. Frostburn, now 2 minutes is the time in which you want to get an ultimate within, generally speaking. That's like, if you haven't got your ultimate within 2 minutes on any hero, you're not doing that swell. So Frostburn here, they're not looking at having 2 ults per person or anything. They're going to have 1 ult each. So they really need to think about it very carefully about how they're going to use those ultimates. Rook can't just use his Diva Bomb just to remech unless it's absolutely necessary, because he's going to have to rely on that to create space, I think. Especially on a point like this that has this choke point that sort of keeps you sort of locked down. Delta here will go for some nice dynamites, hopefully, and just burn them down. Rook will be trying to eat those, of course, but Rook seems to be using his DMs very, very quickly. Nice free dynamite for Mr. Barcode here, and they're not really able to do anything with it. Like, I'm feeling like really quite disappointed for Mr. Barcode here, because he's not actually getting, like, he's getting a lot of burn going on. He's burning out those cooldowns, but the rest of his team is just getting picked first. I'm not really too sure what happened there, because by all rights, that shouldn't have gone that way, but he who shoots first and gets that first pick is going to win here. So it's very strange that Delta wasn't really too careful about it. I don't know if it's comp they're running or whatever, but this is now just given that advantage to Frostburn, because they still have a minute here, which means this is technically 2 fights. If this is only a short fight, they can come in for a second fight, and it looks like they're not going to need that second fight, and they're actually going to cap with time if this keeps going the way it is. And that is definitely something that Delta do not want Frostburn to do. Frostburn cap with time, it means they've got yet another chance to be able to take this point off of them. Whereas Delta would really, really, really want this to go into overtime if Frostburn is going to cap at all. But still 38 seconds, big bomb coming out from Rook, takes out 2 of them. Frostburn here, they need to start getting these picks and cleaning it up so that they're left with that little bit of time, so that they're going to have a minute on attack again to take this point. Doom comes in to contest. Is it going to be enough? No, he gets instantly deleted. And Frostburn is actually going to end up with 18 seconds on the timer. Now, Delta would have to be very, very, very upset with that, because with 2 minutes, there is no way. It should take at least 1 minute on each point, plus all that travel time, which is usually about 20 seconds. It should take at least 1 to 1.5 minutes each time for each point. And on this, it took them 1 minute on each. It just, they weren't able to defend enough. And so now Delta does have to be very careful, does have to try and push this advantage and take as much advantage out of this time bank that they have. Because it could actually end up here that Delta actually uses every second that they have, and then Frostburn ends up in the front, which is just something Delta would not have been expecting. They've been expecting this to be, oh yeah, we'll defend them, and look, even if they get through, they're not going to have a second go because we're going to have that time. But that's definitely not what That's definitely not what has happened. So that's a little bit disappointing, you know, for me and for them. It's not, but this is sort of that intermediate level, and these guys are still learning. So hopefully they've got some good coaches with them to help them improve on how to hold this point, because both teams have struggled to hold this point here. So let's see if Frostburn does a good job of just whittling down that time. We should see Delta still take this point. Big wall off on Monkey Happy. He kind of walked into that one. And Shinku's able to get the kill on him. Lewis is down. And we're going to see Delta take this point very quickly too. Waffle ends up going over the wall. Don't know how that happened, but, stranger things have happened. And they're going to take this point very, very cleanly. So we should see Rook jump off here to his deaths. Bye-bye, Rook. And here he's just going to try and get out, I think. No, he does not. He's not able to. So we see Mr. Barcode here. He's already 53% to his ult. And Strawberry is on 80% to his window. So we might see window fire strike on the engage, followed up by the May ult to try and take this point nice and swiftly from Delta. So we're getting like some right click, farming up our ult here, Do we see? Strawberry doesn't quite have his window yet. We actually end up getting the May ult first, and he drops it very nicely. He was watching that GM really nice and close. And we see Delta is probably going to be able to just finish off the Kree here. Aim, don't just right click, don't spam click. One thing you want to do is, just make sure that your aim is on point. Lewis here isn't really doing himself any favours. He was taking quite a lot of poke there while trying to almost contest, but not quite. Kel does come out, gets a bit of a boot kill, but it's not going to be enough. Mr. Barcode here is doing very, very well. He's not quite aware of this other May, but the other May is not able to touch as it ends up being.
Score 4-4. Switching sides. Initiating match.
So while they burnt down a little bit of time, it wasn't quite enough. Delta still has 3 minutes on their timer, which is very, very good for them. But of course now we have that potential opportunity of, you can still have a draw at this point. Frostburn can still win at this point. If they get on a roll here and they snowball, which is what has been happening so far on this whole map for Volskaya, this is just sort of snowball central. So Frostburn's not out of it yet. I'm sure they would have been a lot more comfortable and a lot more, confident if they'd burnt a little bit more time down from Delta on, that second point in particular. But it is what it is, and they'll just have to try their best. Rook is having fun in spawn, swinging on that lovely grapple that Ball has, but he has chosen to play the D.Va. I think D.Va here has been the stronger pick, especially like on the first point, because you're able to get that high ground control. So we do see Kaiser coming out here. He gets a nice stun, takes out the Immortality. Immortality is coming out really quickly. Delta holding that very well, meaning that there's only one more opportunity now for Frostburn to come and take this first point. Delta is already 80%, like Waffle's already 80% on his Ryan ult. So we're not going to see, probably anything from Frostburn here. The most they've got is 55% on the BAP ult, which is not as useful an ult. Honestly, if I was Frostburn, I wouldn't have come out on this. I would have probably come out with something like a Pharaoh or something to try and get that advantage. Because being held here like so quickly, it's just been all too easy for Delta to actually hold. Delta played a little more aggressively, and it actually worked well for them because they were actually aggressive as a team, which is something that was sorely missing.
Light them up.
Score 4-4.
Um,
Switching sides.
yeah, so hopefully, this will be nice and short. Delta could end up being very,
Initiating
very
move.
sad here. Because could you imagine you have a 3-minute time bank and all you need to do is get one tick and then you don't even get it? But, crazier things have happened on 2CP. So we'll just have to see. We're at 4-4 on this map at the moment. So, it's very possible. But 3 minutes, you'd have to reckon Delta
Ready
is
for
going
battle.
to do pretty well here, and just come out hard and fast here to knock. They'll probably just try to rush on to Frostburn, because there's really not a great deal of speed on Frostburn with this comp. They are running the Echo and Ash, so we really need to be seeing whether Heroes and Crispia are going to be able to get those first picks that they really need to get. Because Delta being, a brawl comp, they really need to play up nice and close. Frostburn is playing that poke comp, so they want to be far away. So it's really comes down to, do Crispia and Heroes get those early picks, and does Delta path well? Because that's really what it comes down to here. Mechanical skill of the DPS and the brain of our Reinhardt here. So Delta make it through their first little test. They now have to try and push out on this balcony, which means there's a lot of poke that can be taken. Personally, if I was Frostburn, I probably would have considered going with a Diva instead of the Zarya and just like playing like a divey style comp. But they've chosen not to do that. Kaiser has dropped onto point, which is kind of a little bit strange. He can take a little bit of range, but looks like he doesn't need to. Crispia gets a nice pick on the Baptiste. He has been getting his dynamites. He doesn't get the other DPS, and Delta was just able to clean up on the point. I feel that, Frostburn there just didn't really know how to play their comp into Brawl. They just sort of were willing to play the Brawl in a Brawl-like scenario, and that's not what their comp's for, So, yeah, I think that was pretty poorly done on defense by Frostburn, and while Frostburn did get some success there going up, what is Delta's logo? That is very interesting. Okay, Twitch chat, give us your feedback on that logo, because that is crazy. So we're now going to move to a 10-minute half time, and we'll be back then. See you then. All right, welcome back. Half time is almost over. So we're looking at a 1v1 here between Delta and Frostburn, and we have had Drake come in to co-cast with me today. Say hello, Drake.
Hello.
Hi, Drake.
Good to be here.
Yeah, good to be here. Good to see you here. We are going to see a choice between Blizzard World and Hollywood. This time, because it was Frostburn who lost, it was they who chose Blizzard World. Sorry, chose Hollywood, as it were. So, we're going to see some Hollywood play. Now, what sort of comps do you think we're going to see here, Drake?
Hmm. Probably something that has to do with shield. I would guess maybe someone would go double bubble, and maybe someone go double shield, but we'll have to see.
Yeah, well, you certainly can run a bit of a double shield on Hollywood on defense, and just really like own that corner in the high ground. If you want to play with a bit of range, and look, we have seen a bit of range be played in that most recent game. We saw Echo Ash comp. It's not really quite meta at the moment, but certainly on a point that has like so much high ground and it's quite safe for the defending team. We may end up seeing a bit of that range come through. And of course, on attack, what are we thinking? Like a brawl, Drake?
Yeah, I'm thinking brawl probably.
Welcome
Yeah.
to Hollywood.
Now, of course, it's going to be a little more difficult on the brawl here. Um, onto first point, because you do have sort of like that high ground. So I'm probably not expecting Rhinezar. It might be
Initiating
Rhine
match.
Diva to take that high ground. So we really want to see again, it's going to be like a DPS check. Certainly on that second point, you do get more of a um, advantage by playing long range because you have all that high ground. Do you think we'll see any sniper action?
I'm not paying you for your acting
Maybe
ability.
I haven't seen the teams in action because it was just Braun here, but
Yeah. Well, you might see some sniper on that second point. We did
Ready for
earlier
battle.
see Crispier Bird on the Widow, and it looks like he might be doing that again. So, for those just joining, Delta here is on defense. We're currently at one map win each, and Frostburn will be attacking today. So, we actually have Frostburn on the attack here, and we're not really too sure what these teams are running because they seem to change their mind, like on the flow here. Um,
they changed
so we'll
their
just have to
role
see.
when teams running very adaptive to shield.
Yeah. Um, So it looks like we are running a rush comp.
Attackers
Both
incoming.
teams are running brawl. Both
Defend
teams are running a
objective
brawl with Ryan Zar. We do have Crispier Bird though on that long range, which is perhaps a little bit strange. So we'll just have to see whether that actually pays off. They'll probably be playing for that, grab dragon. They come in underneath and Xvino gets a really nice wall off there. We do have Shinku here just sort of holding this space, stopping them from being able to retreat easily. They should get the Rhyme pick here, and they'll probably just push on here and take that really nice and easily. Gosh, that was easy, Drake.
Love seeing how the May just walled off like two.
Yeah, May is just so important, and especially on that defense, it just stops the other team from being able to push in hard, doesn't it?
Yeah, especially when the tanks here are fighting their
Watch your back.
so one-way.
Yeah, it's all one-way traffic here. So we do have Delta just trying to hold that high ground with Ryan, which is a little bit weird, but we'll go with it. Ryan's not really doing quite a lot here. A very, very questionable wall there from May. I don't know if he was trying to just stop people from going right or if he was trying to wall someone off, but it wasn't what he was hoping for, I don't think. So this actually gives Monkey Happy the chance to actually move on point. They do get another wall, but it's not that effective in separating. Oh!
Everyone.
Oh my goodness, that was such a huge high noon. What a high noon. And it just allows Delta to win that.
kill.
Whew! Because it looked a little spicy there for a second. Oh, they're asking for a pause. I think a team is having a little bit of an issue on Delta's side.
Oh, he was clipping it, it looks
He
like.
was clipping. He was asking a pause for a clip. I'm sure. No. Um, Okay. Well, who knows? Who knows what's going on? But it seems like there was a pause earlier on. But it looks like we will just see this go and continue. Everyone seems to be ready to go.
Okay, looks like we're just waiting to unpause here, and then we'll be right into the action. Just waiting for it.
Come on, you guys can do it. I believe it. Waffle is spamming Ryan voice lines in the match chat, which doesn't really quite work. He's just typing it, but I can hear it. Don't tell me that you guys can't hear it when it's typed out. Looks like there is no need for a restart. We're just wanting to start. Come on, guys. Anyway, looking at it, do you think that it is looking very one-sided here, or do you think Frostburn has something to show?
We're almost
I'll
gonna have to
take
wait
ready.
for Frostburn to throw out their ults to see something, but right now it's just one-sided, especially with the McCree and Mages popping off while the tanks are able to hold the line.
Yeah, certainly their DPS are really sort of being able to pop off with all that space that's been created by the tanks. Prophet gets big grab by Delta to just sort of finish off Frostburn's third push. So it's not looking too good because Frostburn did use their grab there and they weren't really able to get anything with it. And they haven't got any, they haven't got that combo that they were looking for from Crispier Bread and Grab. So all that value that comes from having that Hanzo has just been completely negated. It's not too good, is it?
Yeah, gotta find
Yeah, no, nothing good there from that Shatter. But it looks like it doesn't matter. But Mr. Barcode here is definitely showing up. I am calling it Mr. Barcode because I don't want to say L 10,000 times. So that's what we're calling him today. Of course, it could be a Miss or a Mrs. Barcode, but I doubt it somehow. I'm not stereotypical at all. Alrighty, Monkey Happy does get the Immortality down, and then a pick on Strawberry, absolutely deleting them. Rook taking it on. Waffle getting massive picks though, 3 picks by Waffle. So just leaving Rook and Monkey Happy and Kel on point. Shatter does come out from Monkey Happy, and so they will actually clear that point and be able to cap. Finally, with not a great deal of time on the clock though. So we should. Yeah, at least they got it. We are trying to take a contest here by Delta, but they should be split because it should be like 3-3. However, they do get a nice big pick on the Monkey Happy and Crispy a bird. Lewis takes out Shinku though, and it's looking pretty close, but it looks like Frostburn will just edge out ahead here on this point. Quite a good contest, really, considering that they came back in such a split formation there. But yeah, it's a pretty good job.
What really carried that, I think, was Lewis's nice time immortality field. Like I just saw, Barcode really couldn't get anyone with his Deadeye because of that immortality field. That really saved the entire team.
Yeah, so that definitely, immortality is just one of those sort of more broken abilities, as we like to call them here. Yeah, so, oh well, good for them, I guess. So we now have Tracer just maybe looking for a nice pulse bomb in this next fight. He doesn't have anything to combo it with, there's no stuns on his team, Shatter's not up, Grab's not up, so we'll probably see him maybe try to stick it on a support. I don't know if he's going to wait for Bap to use his immortality to do it, or whether it's going to be a bit more like, to get out the immortality, sorry.
That's perfect fine. We saw the Tracer with that
Yeah, sorry.
The
I was
piss
a
on
bit
the
behind there.
That's perfect.
Yeah, occasionally I do get a little bit of a lag issue, so apologies there. We do have Crispier third here, just looking for some nice picks on the Widow. He gets
finds a
a
May.
nice pick on May. Yeah, big pick on May. Barcode takes out Rook. Waffle takes out Kel. So they've been able to sort of just be a little bit more dominant. Here, Delta has.
Find barcode.
Yes, Crispier did find Barcode. So Delta's able to just stabilize here, even though those picks came out. That was a little bit interesting. Monkey Happy here is going to maybe go for like a nice big shatter. Waffle seems to know what he's up to. And so he's going to like cut. So Xvino actually comes out with the May there. And they're able to just hold it there. But then a big shatter coming out from Monkey Happy here. Monkey Happy low, but he does get a pick before he dies. Crispier Bird getting more. And Prophet just sort of slowly maybe taking on these two things. So we do have like a lot of kills sort of happening off screen, as you guys can see. Just Kel and Lewis just seem to be dead quite a lot. They're not as present as we would have liked to have seen them. Beat comes out from You Amuse. And Mr. Barcode here just being a real pain in the butt around the edge. There's really no one to contest him. And so we'll probably just see him like clean up here, unless like some really, really nice ultimates come out, but they're a long way from any ult. So this is as far as Frostburn's going to get on this map.
Regen burst activated.
As we saw, just the team is just with just even just two people, they're able to mop up.
0-1.
Yeah.
Switching
I don't really think
sides.
double sniper was really the best choice, because while I was able to get the limbs initially, they don't have the holding power that they needed for that, especially for such low time.
Yeah, especially with that, yeah, you're right, especially with that low time, because you really have to play it slow, and you can't afford anyone to, you know, get,
Just on there.
yeah, on there, you know, yeah, you can't afford to have anyone just get picked early. You have to play it slow, and it's not really something that they could afford to do. So good idea, poor execution.
Yep.
So we do see Prophet selecting the Doom again. We did see him on that in that first. No, we saw. Who did we see? I've forgotten already. Whether it was Prophet who was on that Doom Fist initially.
Hello there.
I'm pretty sure it was.
But yeah, it was Prophet on the Doom Fist. But it looks like he's swapping. He's changed his mind and he's gone to May. I think that's a wiser choice, really, on defense. I don't really know how you'd go about playing Doom Fist on that first point defense. It's not really, like, the rollouts aren't really there. I guess you can disrupt a bit, but I just think you're going to get that much more value out of the May here. So we do see a mirror comp here today, so it's really going to be a test of wills here. It's going to be pathing and mechanics. Delta a little bit further from his team, looking to go around sort of the back and get a little bit of a flank on them. He's kind of walled off by his own person, but he might be able to just get a free tick here or something. But not quite. The rest of his team died, so he really got nothing out of them. He never once poked at them. He didn't get any. Yeah, he didn't get anything out of that.
Yeah. Bronco kind of spent a bit too long trying to get around, so his entire team died.
Yeah, so his entire team did just die then, but oh well. They go in for another go. You Amuse is already 56 years old and has that edge on Kel. We do see a big shatter coming out from Monkey Happy. He tried to go straight for a charge through his shatter, got stunned out of it. It looks like they are able to convert anyway. Prophet getting a few right clicks. Kel being a very aggressive Reddit Lucio here. But you know, Delta do get one tick on that point. And any progress is good progress, you know?
Yep. What's interesting is I'm pretty sure both Lucios have been able to get a
Yeah, yeah, I do. It doesn't really happen too often, and most of the time you get in trouble with the rest of your team. Big window shatter there. Um, so that was just a very quick fight. It doesn't really help any, like it doesn't help Delta at all. And that gives Waffle pretty much his ultimate all over. Sorry, Monkey Happy his ultimate all over again. So we do see a big grab here coming out by Rook. It is large. The May ult, the May wall does work to separate the rest of the team from that immortality field. May does like ice block herself, but it's not going to be enough. So, look, Frostburn is actually not in a bad way here. There's only 1:30 remaining on the timer, and Frostburn still has so many ults. They still have 3 ults, and Delta is only coming up on, well, they're coming up on 3 as well. But, you know, with May ult, with, you know, Kree ult, they've got a lot of stuff to do. And of course, with that immortality still out, they still have the protection from that grab that's going to come out by Shinko here. Early May ult by Xvino and Prophet. Prophet does end up getting picked, but so does Strawberry. Lucio ult already out here. Monkey Happy just like smacking into them. But we do get some big picks coming out of Delta for that, with a clutch grab there.
Looks like they were able to catch they needed.
Objective A.
Yes.
I think what's awesome is just how both teams have been having stellar defense here.
Yeah, it's very good to see the control. You know, the stalling and everything is very good. So this game is a lot closer than what we may have thought, considering it didn't even make it all the way to second point.
I'm hoping that Frostburn will have a good defense and they Waffle finding
Yeah, that didn't go quite as well as Waffle would have hoped there. But they are getting, that's a really nice wall from Xvino, just separating the team from their Baptiste, so they weren't able to get the heals on time. Because of course while Baptiste can jump over it, he actually has to think to jump over it, and get himself in a position where that's a safe thing to do. So yeah, it did separate them a little bit, and this has given Delta quite a nice advantage here. We see Mr. Barcode up there getting his ultimate ready. He might come and drop down on the side or just do it all the way up top. Rook's ult kind of got a little bit stuffed up there. It didn't get quite as much. Team being very nervous because they're very worried about Mr. Barcode's high noon. But they were able to play around it. Very good play, I think, by Monkey Happy there, really, in being able to still keep that contest going, even though that pre-ult was up. Yes, Delta backing up. So we should see quite a few ults on both sides, though. Big window from Strawberry. Immortality has to come out for it, but they are able to wall off Shinku, and Shinku got picked so quickly there. Shinku was just like press W so hard, but you know, Waffle was just all the way back beyond him. It was very strange play, I think, by Delta there.
Yeah, it was a bit interesting because he didn't really have a team back.
Those do happen, of course. We're looking at a big shadow maybe coming out of Waffle here. He has to get a really nice clean one here because we're down to 30 seconds here. Crispier is up top. He had his high noon, didn't get anything with it. Bit of a shame. Shinku does get a pick onto Prophet. Crispier really is pocketed here. If they're going to be able to win this fight, big grab by Rook. A saving May wall in by Xeno, but now he doesn't have that to use in an aggressive manner. Mr. Barco gets 2 picks, but does trade. Rook is still alive on the point. Doesn't quite get a trade as he dies. And Delta do clutch out a win right there on the overtime.
It's like now we're 2-1 in Delta's favor.
Yeah, so now 2-1 to Delta. So,
Play
the
of
next
the
map
game.
could be our last map. Oh, yes, look at the googly eyes. Very, very
Yeah,
cute.
lovely bees.
April
Are the
Fools.
animals. Unfortunately.
Yes.
Triple
Yeah, that was some nice play there by Waffle. Really helped carry his team there. We do love to see those powerful Rhine plays. So we'll just be looking at moving on to the next map. Now we might just play some music in the meantime.
Nice.
All right, moving on to our fourth map of the day. We're going to have a choice between Junkertown and Havana. Now, this will either be the last map or the second last map because all the maps that we have had a chance where you can have a draw on them have passed. So, this is going to be a 4 or 5 map series. It looks like having lost the previous map, Frostburn has chosen Junkertown over Havana, which is a little bit sad because, okay, look, Havana may not be that fun to play, but it is quite fun to watch. You can get some really nice, sniper plays on that map. But Junkertown it is, and while, you do get snipers on Junkertown, it is a lot more diverse map. And you can play all sorts of funky things like Bastion comps, Pharah comps. You can play close, you can play far, you can play meta, you can play dive, you can play double shield. There's just limitless options on Junkertown First Point in particular. And that's because it's like that big open thing. Brawl is harder to play on it because it is open, but because that's sort of the meta at the moment, it's not as much of a disadvantage as previously. But we might see some double shield here. What do you think we'll see, Drake?
I guess it's something along the lines of bunker. I don't know. I always hope for like a pirate ship kind of thing.
See a bit of pirate ship, see some either Bastion or Torb or something come out here. I mean,
Yeah.
it's very possible. It is quite strong on these maps. Both Torb and Bastion are quite strong. Torb on defense can be particularly strong on second point, where you're just locking down any potential entry angle whatsoever.
Hmm.
So you should see these teams ready up very shortly um, to play Junkertown. Now, Junkertown, of course, is an Australian map. Um, but look, Australia doesn't really look like that. That is in very limited places, unless it's the middle of summer and then it literally is everywhere. No, I'm joking. It's not quite that extreme. But certainly, there are many parts of Australia that do look like this in the outback. That red dirt that seems to be oh so common He's everywhere. Tin roof sheds everywhere. No Junkertowns though. Not yet. It's too expensive to take things to the tip
Welcome
there.
to Junkertown.
Dang. I would love to see like a real life Junkertown. That'd be amazing.
Could you imagine?
Yeah.
Yeah, it
Just
stink though.
rolling enter through like, what is it, like mechanical gates that look like they're like built from tin cans.
I really like Junkertown though. It kind of is Mad Maxy, and you know, Mad Max, of course, was the original was indeed filmed in Australia. I think the most recent one was also filmed in Australia, but you know, with the amount of CGI they put in these things doesn't count. Yeah, so we do have another problem with the lobby where we have the not enough players thing happening again. So we should see. We're very confused as to why that might be happening, because you can see that there are 12 people in there, and so you would expect
Initiating
the
match.
game lobby to recognize that, but it didn't. Oh well, not a big deal. We're now going to see them ready up shortly. So let's see, we have coming out on Delta, we should see in 7 seconds what they're going to run.
Interesting. Hopefully the teams figure out what they're gonna run for him.
Ready for battle.
Yes. We got double shield on both sides. Very strange. We do see Junkrat coming out on attack. Maybe. Of course, hard to say because they can still change at any time. But on the defense, we have double shield, double sniper. Opting to run a Zen with that, giving them that little bit more survivability when the ults come out for the two tanks.
What's
Really,
interesting is that
That
there's
would
just
be
like
the last
double sniper
mistake
again
you
from
ever made.
Frostburn. Hopefully they'll be doing something a tad bit different so that they can make it work this time around.
5,
yeah.
4,
I mean, certainly on this map, it could be very, very, very powerful.
attackers
And that
incoming.
Discord should also just help finish off the other team quickly. They might struggle a bit in terms of shield break, but both teams are running double sniper. They do have the Mercy pocket from Strawberry onto Mr. Barcode. Now, Orisa with her giant head might find it a little bit difficult. So as soon as that shield breaks, we really want to see these Orisas finding cover. Because even though they do have their golden, which, you know, stops any critical damage from happening, they're still very squishy as soon as that goes down. So we saw Rook just take a ton of damage then. Prophet is just trying to poke out Mr. Barcode here. It's good to sort of see. He's playing very safe. I'm not sure whether that's the best choice here. But look, it seems to work. Prophet took him down. Mr. Barcode is down. Waffle is down. Shinku is down. Although Mr. Waffle, yeah.
Window comes out with.
Window comes out. Yeah, I feel like that window was very poorly used. And now they're not going to have it for the next fight. And of course, your Muse is going to have it. So they might try and just delete both of the shields on Delta with Kaiser storm arrowing through that window. We might even see Window Dragon coming out here. Kaiser seems to be a bit more ahead of the ult charge than Prophet. So this could be very good if they can get a nice full dragon combo here. It'll work very nicely for them. So they were able to get the dragon off, but the pull just wasn't really there. They do get a pick onto Crispier Bird. And both Sigma ults have now come out. Monkey Happy has taken down one. So we're now we're doing 1v1 here, but we're going to have that better spawn coming out on the side of the attackers. On high ground we have the Widow, just sort of getting free picks, hey? No,
Someone's beating it out.
Yes.
Probably be in Loki's favor with the Discord. So we'll have to see as Kaiser comes in to try and tip the scale.
Yep.
Oh, Barcode.
So it looks like Mr. Barcode and Kaiser have just finished off the last remnants of the defense from Frostburn. with just Rook to go, and he
The
is
payload
dead.
has reached the checkpoint.
Crispy are moving far ahead to try and get some stagger spawns or whatever, but you know, he's not able to find anyone. He almost got caught out. So we do see Sigma moving up to just take that space and just limit the opportunity that Crispy and Prophet are going to have, because being able to set up here is paramount for both teams. If you're able to set up here, that's a very, very big sig ult, but it doesn't do too much. The only thing it does is, you know, it does take out Shinku, but with that Mercy, they're able to just res him straight away. Waffle did use his big flux coming in from Monkey Happy. That's interesting. Monkey Happy has been playing the main tank, but now he's playing the off tank, so don't know if that's going to work out too well for them. Certainly, Delta are getting some really nice picks here. And they're able to just take,
Delta's just rolling right now. Hopefully, Oscar's able to stop him, but looking unlikely as of right now.
Yeah, they got some really nice big critical picks. Big pick on Crispy Bread. It's just kind of like you dashed into it, Tracer. You can't go and do that, man. Storm Arrow is just so powerful at the moment, you know.
Accuracy is pretty when he was scattering.
Payload is moving. Join me.
Yeah. I don't think many people agree with you on that. We do have, like, Kaiser's got another dragon on him, and he's just going to throw it to stop that left side flank. Doesn't quite get anyone with it, but he really messes up their ability to move up, and Prophet, of course, was then left isolated and got picked. Rook going in for a nice big slam, Mr. Barcode taking him out. But they need to kind of play this quite slow here. They've got the benefit here. Waffle just kind of like trying really hard to take out Lewis, and although he trades, he does get that pick on Lewis, so it does limit their ability to push so hard up here because they're just missing that support, you know?
Yeah, without their tank and shield, I'm going to push it.
So what do we have into ults coming up? Yeah, we have we only have one ult really, a couple of ults on each side. There is a slight advantage on the side of Delta. They are going to have Sigma ults. They do use both their support ults at once. I mean, it can result in a win, but if you don't win this fight, not having the support ult for that next thing is a bit of a waste. So Delta here, they really, yeah, that happens, doesn't it? Yeah, Mr. Barcode here, just trying to whittle down. Then does get him. It's gonna be enough. Monkey Fee, like Monkey Fee there, Monkey Happy there. He just went for that health pack, and I'm not sure it was a good idea. I mean, it has worked out in a way in terms of they're able to sort of stagger for longer, but it does make it harder for them to come back. Rook on the ball, able to get quite a bit of damage and destruction going on there. Big blade potentially. Oh, there is a very, very big kill onto Prophet there. And it's such a big pick. Yeah, Monkey Happy trying really, really hard. But having killed that Genji, they were just able to hold it there for a bit longer. Now, we do see here, Frostburn was able to hold it a little longer. But yeah, that was it was almost a fight win there for Delta with that kill onto Prophet on the Genji. That was huge, really. It's a shame that they weren't able to get anything else with it.
Yeah, Monkey and Rook just really being what's changing the game.
Yeah, Monkey and Rook are really doing very well on this ball sitcom. I think, you know, Delta is a little bit confused on what to do with this ball. They do have the Kree. The Kai's are popping off, killing both supports of the Frostburn. They should get one last kill, one last contest here. Big pick onto Prophet there. Prophet definitely having that ability to stall a bit. Ball going off point, comes back just in time to stall. Gonna have to, has no overshield, just really needs help there. We do have, yeah, not finding anyone, big kills by Mr. Barcode. Prophet does get a kill onto UMUs. Kaiser gets res by Strawberry. That is a big res. Kaiser getting a pick on the Crispier and just finishing him off.
Complete.
Whew,
Yeah,
so they,
just missing the fist on that Strawberry was.
yeah.
Score.
We want to be him right now.
0
No,
to 3.
don't want to be him right now.
Switching sides.
Yeah, he'd be feeling a little bit salty about that.
Initiating
So who are we thinking of winning this map? Drake.
Right now it's really in Delta's favor, even though they have like 0 on the board. Unless we can see Frostburn do a full roll, I'm not really expecting much here.
Yeah, just seeing like a team actually get 2/3 on this point can definitely be a bit demoralizing. Because it just seems getting around that last corner is just so hard. That final, like, 15-20 meters of this map is quite brutal, really, isn't it?
Yeah. Hopefully they're able to pull that together and we can get that final match to prove it all, but I'm kind of in doubt here.
Yeah. Well, let's hope. Let's see what happens. But this could be a nice 3-1 win for Delta. But Delta really do need to look at shutting down those tanks. So I really feel like Monkey Happy and Rook were really performing quite well then. I think Prophet has been like hard inting a bit. He can be kind of a bit of a flashier player, but he just got picked like really easily quite often early in the fights. So we really don't want to see that. Really crispy a bird.
In the beginning there.
Yeah, nice. That's fine. So let's see. Let's see how Prophet does here on the Ash this time. Again. Yeah, again, Prophet is running this without the Mercy. They tend to be like wanting to play Zen Lucio, Kel on the Zen Lucio instead of the Mercy here. Not sure how beneficial that is.
Yeah, the Zen isn't really making the difference, as we saw. I didn't really see very many wins, kills because of Zen. Maybe they'll be switching in here and stacking up.
Yeah, like, I think, when you have a double shield, like, what's the Zen Orb gonna do? It doesn't have any W until you've actually taken down the shields and stuff, and so I think you're better off in this situation to play the Mercy. Big pick by Barcode onto Ash. Yeah, I just think that, like, the pocket onto Barcode and Kaiser is just going to pay out nicely for Delta. Kaiser here just playing it nice and safe. Yeah, big res by Strawberry. Monkey would be feeling pretty ripped off because that was a really nice pick by Monkey. Massive dragon by Kaiser. Delta here is being pushed really hard. He really needs that support, which he's getting from Strawberry, but I think he really needs to think about backing out here. Oh, Strawberry getting a kill onto Orisa there. Actually a very good choice. Usually you hate to see Mercy's pull out the pistol, but I think that was just such a good choice there because Strawberry was just so hard onto, Waffle was just so hard onto the Widow. Yeah, come in with that little bit of extra damage onto Orisa. I have called the wrong name, so I do apologise. Again, this one is harder than most because they're playing such similar comps, and I think the tanks do play quite a similar style too. Dynamite comes in and Ash. Kaiser ignores it. Yeah, I feel like that's just too late. They're already 2 down before that Zen Trans comes out, and it's looking very much like Delta's just going to take this one home.
Yeah, I'm not really expecting much unless someone can convince Kel to get off that
Yeah, I mean, I just think, I don't know if whose decision it is, but it's the wrong decision. Because they're just not able to get, like, they're not able to focus any damage. On this defense, Rook and Monkey Happy, sorry, Waffle and Shinku are just, big dragon coming in. big Sig ult coming in. They are able to take out Mr. Barcode with it. But Crispy Bread gets like those 2 picks, but he gets taken out, and Kel gets taken out too. Prophet now sort of taking out Kaiser, so they might actually take this point. We do have Window coming out, but he mustn't have had immortality, so it's just Marissa, and it's not going to be enough. Trying to just stagger on and hold it, but it's not quite enough. So they do take that first point, but they have next to no time on the timer here. So
unless they roll hard, this is going to be a very hard uphill fight. Ooh, Crispy finding Kaiser.
Yeah, big pick by Crispier there on the attack Widow. Yes, very, very nice pick. But I just think that the play of Zen on this map against this comp at this level, it's not going to work out. Crispy is dead, and you haven't got the mercy to res him. This means that Mr. Barco gets to move up as far as he wants. Rook is just playing in the background, not sure why. Trying to get Mr. Barco. Yeah, big pulse onto Mr. Barcode. Big pick from Monkey Happy onto Sigma. It was still very winnable there by Delta. And maybe it still is, but Monkey Happy is popping off. He's trying so hard to like carry his team. Him and Rook are just, you know, really showing themselves up here as sort of the carries.
Yeah,
I do. Yeah, they're just, those tanks are just doing such a good job. I'm very impressed with that. We do see Ball slamming in and just trying to get a bit of extra damage. The big old dragon comes in. Doesn't really get anyone. It hasn't even really split anyone, but I guess it made them a little bit nervous, got them to back up a little bit. Delta's able to move up as a team and just own that point. This is one of those U-turn spots in the map, so it is much harder for the attacker to be able to come and take advantage here.
Looks like Frostburn is going to have a minute on the clock to try and do something. We'll see if they do it.
Yeah. We do have mines like coming in on Rook. He should be able to farm that up in the time remaining. So he's just going to try and get like some of these big slams, get his overshields going, and just drop a shitload of mines on. Immortality gets used early by Delta. Oh, big plays here. Windows out. Everything's out. Prophet's looking for a sticky. Who's he going to stick? He's going to try and stick. No, he doesn't choose to stick anyone. He's saving it for the next fight, he looks like. Ball here can still stall for quite a long time, though. So this should give a good reset to Delta for this last point. And of course, once this goes up, they're only going to get a minute and a half. Gosh, they're able to come in and stall for quite some time. Kaiser is just trying to take out the ones who are trying to push in a bit. Monkey Happy is able to take quite a bit of space on this map. So that's quite good.
Really despising the fact there was really used his immortality field way too early. That was
yeah. Yeah, you've gotta like timing on BAP immortality is one of the biggest things in this game. I'm not very good at it personally, so yeah, nobody likes to see me sort of join their team and like pop the bat because my immortalities are just garbage. And so you can aim as good as you like, but if you don't have that immortality used well, you can just completely throw for your team. Kaiser comes in with his ult here. They do have, I think, that immortality up, did they? No, it just hasn't gotten anyone. But they are going to get the stagger here. Being already down, Frostburn wasn't able to really move forward there. So we're now entering into last fight territory here. Monkey Happy does have his ult. Cal has his ult. Lewis has his ult. So they might be able to get something done here with the BAP window and Sig ult. But it needs to be a good window. Yeah, Shinko goes for the first Sig ult here.
For the res on the Kaiser.
Yeah, big res by Strawberry there onto Kaiser. They're up. So Delta's up here now. Able to get a lot of large picks here.
Looks like it's going to be a match.
Yep, that is. Oh, no, there we go. We've got like some stagger coming on, but it's not going to be enough. And that's going to give Delta a 3-1 victory over Frostburn, which will take them to a uncontested first place in the intermediary division. So,
Right.
yeah, GG's to both
Play
teams.
of the game.
But specifically to Delta, you played well. And I think it really came down to, were the DPS better or were the tanks better on the other team? So
Yeah.
that's sort of what I saw. I saw, definitely on Delta, Kaiser and Mr. Barcode really popped off throughout the entire series. And I just think that Prophet and Crispier Bird didn't do quite as well, you know. So that's a bit, of a shame for Frostburn, but it was a really good match. Both did well. The team with the shoddy logo won. I have no idea what is going on with that logo, but it is like, I just don't get it. Like, why? And we will ask that of the MVP when we select one. So if we could get those polls going up for MVP today, that would be ideal. In my mind, who do you want to give it to?
Honestly, I want to give it to Barcode.
Yep. Yeah,
Like,
I
I
think
really loved his popping off just the entire game. Either that or Strawberries, because Strawberries had some really key reses.
yeah, those reses were good. Something I really liked about Strawberry's reses, it was very, very rare that you saw them res their the person and then die immediately. She or he was always taking a very safe opportunity. So really, I don't know if that's necessarily only just because Strawberry was whether that was because Strawberry was actually being safe, or whether Frostburn just didn't take advantage of the situation. So we'll see very shortly who we're going to get voted. So cast your votes, folks, and we'll see you guys in a couple of minutes. So unfortunately, and I don't know why, but Mr. Barcode and Kaiser, they don't want to come in and take their MVP win. So I guess I'll just have to award it to them, though it's a shame we won't be able to get some insights from them on today's game. Suddenly, we did see Delta really come to the forefront, didn't we, Drake?
Yep, they just really just did. I think they did an amazing job just team coordination and just how the healers worked off the DPS and the DPS worked off the tanks.
Yeah, exactly. I think, what we saw was they were able to just sort of take more space, and so they were able to use more space, and they took advantage of that. So, very well done. Special mention to Strawberry as well, who was able to get the reses on the DPS when they did get picked, which just gave them that second life and that opportunity to do that much more. Um, yeah, shout out to Monkey Happy. We really enjoyed watching you play today. I think you were definitely the highlight of Frostburn today. So hopefully you can get the rest of your team in order for your next few games. And that does us all for today. We'll catch you all next time.
Nice. Bye.